Today on Forbes, Smoke and Mirrors, how this entrepreneur exaggerated and self-promoted her way into turmoil. Daniella Pierson turned 30 on Monday, a milestone acknowledged by a bevy of successful friends, from Spanx founder Sarah Blakely to the singer Jewel to designer Diane von Furstenberg. It's an especially auspicious birthday for an entrepreneur who spent her 20s building a lifestyle newsletter called The Newsette, which she launched as a student at Boston University in 2015, garnering a feature in USA Today in 2019, debuting on our Forbes 30 Under 30 list in 2020, appearing on the cover of Entrepreneur magazine in 2021 with Selena Gomez for a second company, mental health startup Wondermind, ranking number 16 on Inc. 5000's list of fastest growing private companies in 2022, and giving talks and speeches throughout, at schools from Stanford to BU and media gatherings from Forbes Power Women's Summit to Newsweek's Women Global Impact Forum just this past week. Her high profile owes itself to brains and hustle, and, it turns out, a consistent history of large exaggerations and extreme self-promotion, those latter two traits reinforcing the other. Over the course of the last 3 months, Forbes spoke to more than a dozen people who've worked closely with her and reviewed documents, press releases, and videos of all 4 of her recent business ventures. What emerges is someone who fails to understand the difference between entrepreneurial zeal and extreme hyperbole, and now faces a potential reckoning. For all the celebrity plaudits and press love, Pierson's businesses seem to be unraveling. Business partnerships have collapsed, the staff at her original startup has shrunk to roughly 1/4 its peak size, and revenue has tumbled from $40 million in 2021, if you believe Pierson, to less than $4 million in recent years, according to 4 former employees. Pierson declined to comment on any revenue figures after 2021. Kicked out of a second startup she co-founded, Pierson is now starting her 3rd venture in 4 years, that one also seemingly riddled with problems. One former employee, who spoke under condition of anonymity for fear of retaliation, says, quote, "I don't know that she actually cares about building a successful business as much as she cares about being able to say she's a badass CEO. It's all smoke and mirrors." Pierson started Newsette using tactics that would become something of a playbook, scrappy and disingenuous. In those early days, she sent messages from fake emails to make it seem like the company had more employees than just her. She also posed as an intern, messaging friends of friends to subscribe and telling them if they successfully referred 10 others, they could call themselves, quote, brand ambassadors on their resumes. During a talk at the Stanford Graduate School of Business last year, she said, quote, "I made it look like it was bigger than it was. I literally just faked it till I made it." A notable milestone came when Pierson, then about 24 years old, met Diane von Furstenberg, the legendary fashion designer. Married to billionaire Barry Diller, von Furstenberg introduced her to a host of other celebrities, as well as connections at Amazon. At this point, Pierson reached out to Forbes to nominate herself for the richest self-made women list. In looking into her company in 2022, Forbes confirmed that RX Bar founder Peter Rahal had come on as an outside investor. Rahal, who sold 50% of his former company for $300 million 5 years earlier, has since put money into some 100 businesses. His 1.25% investment valued Newsette at $200 million. More than the cash, Rahal's bet on Pierson gave her clout. Based on that deal's numbers, Forbes valued Pierson's own 84% stake in the company at just under $170 million. A big Forbes story in August 2022, declaring her, quote, "one of the wealthiest women of color in the US, worth $220 million, and then age 27, quote, younger than just about any self-made female entrepreneur with a 9-figure fortune," marked a turning point for Pierson. This, according to former employees who say she repeatedly used the net worth figure to sell others on her success, even when her businesses turned south. And it turns out the net worth figure she loves to cite was even less grounded in reality. Yes, Rahal invested at a $200 million valuation, but he now tells Forbes that he didn't even look at the financials when he made the investment. In other words, the company touting its $200 million valuation had no real chance of any other serious investor touching it at that price. For full coverage, check out Monica Hunter Hart's piece on forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.